New style, down, do your dance, we got a brand new dance. Do your dance,
Now that we showed you what it's important to do to put together for a skincare class, so you got to care enough to prepare, this will show you how the table should look as far as having it all laid out. Now it's important to also have a time-wise miracle set in front of each tray, and what would be really better is if you went ahead and you put their name down inside of the bag once you know that they're coming for sure, so that, let's say for instance, you knew that Heather was coming, you put Heather's set, and that way her name is attached to the product. And you know, possession is 9/10 of the law, so the more that you can get her to hold the product, the more it becomes her product. Now this is what we showed you earlier, that we had all of the different samples picked out already in the tray along with the lookbook, and we've got the profile in there, and we've got the sales slip. Now this is one other thing I put in the middle of the table, and this is the consultant agreement, and Mary Kay asked that we put one of these or a few of these in the middle of the table so that when we're talking about our ice story, then we can say, well, you know, Mary Kay has said that at every skincare class there's at least a brand new beauty consultant. I wonder who is going to be the new consultant tonight. And that plants the seed for the marketing at the end, so that's really great to have. And this is something that I would pass around. Every time I say second facial, I would pass it around the class. So for instance, if you want to make sure that you do not forget to mention that, then select a product that you can make it a fun little game at the skincare class. So this is just one of those little premiums that we can get from the company, and it's got the little oil-free eye makeup remover and the moisturizers in there and the eye gel. So every time I say second facial, I say, oh, now Heather, you got to pass it on to the next person. Every time I say second facial, and it keeps going around. And that way you make sure that you're mentioning it all through the class. So at the end, when you're talking about scheduling their follow-up facial or their second facial, they're not going to look at you like, what are you talking about? They already know that they're going to have a follow-up facial. And if somebody ever tells me that they don't want to have a follow-up facial, I go, well, oh my gosh, Mary Kay would fire me. I need to do that. And that's how I guarantee the product. I've got to make sure that everything is working for you. So that's why it's important that you mention second facial, second facial, second facial, second facial. As a matter of fact, the rule is if you mention it at least 6 times, they will remember it. But that's why this is so important. So whatever it is that you have that you want to give away, make sure that you have that as a gift to pass around the table during the skincare class.
come on, do your dance, do your dance. Let me see you. Do your dance, do your dance. Do your dance. Do your dance, do your dance. Do your dance. We got a brand new dance. We got a brand new sound. We got a brand new feel. We got a brand new style, y'all.
Okay, another thing that's very important at your skincare class is that you have your date book with you and that you've got marked out the dates that you have selected for your skincare classes. So for instance, when you get to the point where you're saying, now, you know, part of my challenge this month is to practice on 30 faces in 30 days. Now I've marked out the dates that I have pre-selected that will work for this month, for the month of March or whatever month. And then you can say, okay, I've got a gift for every single person that goes ahead and selects a tentative date on my date book. So how many of you like gifts? And you raise your hand and you pass this around, and every single person typically will go ahead and they'll put their name in there with a question mark, even if they're not 100% sure. I have them put a question mark, and a tentative date becomes a date on your date book. So at the end of the class, you'll never have to worry about leaving that skincare class without a booking on your date book. That's very important. Now another thing I've also done, and I always have done all these years, is to make sure that I have extras of the color cards and all of the pencils that go along with it and the applicators all made up in little baggies, just like this, in a beautiful basket like this. And that way, if somebody shows up unannounced, you're prepared. You're not scampering around trying to find everything. Because again, it's all about caring enough to prepare. So this makes it very simple, and you won't get frustrated, you know, because a lot of times what happens at your skincare classes, if somebody comes unannounced, it can change your state. And especially if you're an analytical person, it can really change your state. So it can change the whole complexion of your skincare class. So that's why it's important to have extras ready to go. Another thing that I do when we're having them select dates is we also have the deal or no deal envelopes. So when they decide to share their follow-up facial with at least 3 of their friends, they get to select one of these envelopes. They never know what's going to be in the envelope. It's always a gift, a surprise, something fun, and it also has the hostess letter in there. So it's just a simple envelope tied with a pink ribbon that says deal or no deal. So tonight when you schedule your date for your follow-up, to help me with my 30 faces with you and a couple of friends, then this is your deal or no deal. There's going to be a great gift in there for you, but you can't open it until the end. As a matter of fact, most of the time I don't give it to them. I hang on to it and I talk to them about it at the end of the skincare class. So that's one other thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Get ready to rumble!
Pump up the jam, yo, pump it up, yo, pump it. Y'all ready for this? I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Give it up, yeah.
Welcome to the big show. Simply wait.
That I give to every guest that comes. Now, I don't pre-select people that I think are going to be great at Mary Kay. I select everybody because you never know. So after the sale of the product and after the booking, after they go ahead and have that firmed up and they have their deal or no deal envelope and they've got the hostess program in there, then I'll give them this one last gift and I'll say to them, you know what, I've been selected to move into management by Mary Kay, and I'm to select the sharpest women that I know, and I think you'd be great at Mary Kay. Now, it may be for you, and then again, it might not, but this is something fun I want to give you to take home, and in the next 24 hours, when you listen to that, I'm going to give you a free lip gloss, or you could say free lipstick, whatever you think is appropriate for that person. And she'll go, well, what is it? And then I'll say, well, have you ever had PMS? And she goes, well, of course. Every woman would say yes. Then I'd say, well, this is going to give you PMA. And inside of this, PMA means positive mental attitude, and it's my marketing CD, so that she's going to hear about how I got started in Mary Kay, why I was excited about it, and what it can do for her too. And even if it's not for her, she may know somebody who'd be great at doing what I do. So it's important to me that everybody gets the gift. So pass it on, because if you're keeping that gift in your heart for yourself and you're not sharing it with other people, then they're never going to know about Mary Kay. So my goal is to share. Their job is to accept it or reject it. Isn't that cool? So go ahead, make these up, put those CDs together, and make sure that you're giving them out as a beautiful gift like this. So wrap it up in something pretty, put a pretty pink bow on it, because women love to open up pretty packaging. That will absolutely intrigue her. So make sure you get that done, okay?
Pump it up while your feet are stumping, and the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little.